and welcome to Retail Media Unplugged. I'm Cindy Loza, Managing Editor of Member Content for the Path to Purchase Institute. PDPI's Retail Media Unplugged is a video series that dives into the nitty-gritty of retail media to explore the latest trends, strategies, and tactics for success. In each episode, we'll go behind the scenes for our special guests to dig into how they're navigating the evolving realm of retail media. Joining us for our latest episode, I'm delighted to welcome Niccolo Gloazzo from Kettle Fire. Welcome, Nico. Thanks so much for being here. To kick things off, can you tell us a bit about Kettle Fire and your role at the brand?
Sure. Hi, Cindy. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here. So Kettle Fire is a bone broth company, shelf stable, based in the United States. We sell from bone broth or stock as well as like soups. We are sold pretty much in every single retailer right now in the United States. We recently launched at Costco as well, so it's pretty exciting time for us, and we're seeing the company grow. It's really fun right now. I've been with the company now for five, almost 6 years, I would say. I'm a senior director of media and omnichannel marketing. So basically, I'm in charge of everything that is media related. I started in DTC at the beginning, then I moved into Amazon, and then a couple of years ago, I started like managing all the retail because, of course, that's the direction where the company is going and the expansion that we're having right now. So I oversee the media strategy across all of those channels, like including out of home, and the majority of my time right now is actually spent toward like retail media advertisement.
Great. Well, wonderful. Again, it's so great to have you. Now, I don't know where you're calling from, but the temperatures here in the Midwest are definitely starting to get colder. Sweater weather is upon us, and so is soup season. So, is it safe to assume we're headed into key marketing season for Kettle Fire?
Yeah, so pretty busy time for us right now. I'm actually calling from Mexico now, so it's chill, I would say here. But I'm going to Austin on Saturday for a bit. I love Austin, big fan, and that's also where the headquarters is, by the way. But yes, key season right now for us is like very important season, Q4 and Q1 usually. In fact, we have a bunch of stuff going on, so pretty busy. I would say we have a lot of cool activation upcoming. This year, for the first time, we run like a really, I would say, really big partnership right now with the UFC. So that's something we're gonna go pretty heavy invested in right now. But also like Thanksgiving is an important moment for us, and so it was pretty cool to actually own like the Thanksgiving space on Instacart this year, and maybe steal that placement from some old, legacy brands. And then after Thanksgiving, so the cooking like time, which is like you said, soup season, where we're going to invest heavily like with partnership and influencer and retail media. Then we're getting to like New Year, New Me, which is another like important, I'd say, moment for Kettle Fire and from a retail standpoint as well.
Can you expand on, I believe you mentioned about Instacart. Is that a campaign that you ran?
Yeah, so this year, for the first time, we're gonna go. There's gonna be like a Thanksgiving takeover, basically. So we are partnering with Instacart and other brands, of course, by owning that specific like week from like investing, for example, in the hero banner on Instacart, investing like push notification, like email campaigns, and basically it's like an amplification package that is happening with Instacart and other brands when Instacart basically promote the Thanksgiving occasion or Thanksgiving cooking like occasion. And so we're gonna be featured there as one of those brands.
Oh, great. Makes sense. And how much would you say of the brand's marketing budget overall is dedicated to retailer media networks? And has that increased over the years?
Yeah, so the budget over the years actually definitely increased as the company, of course, expanded more and more into retail. And so the retail become like a very important channel for us, like the main channel for our future. But from a budgeting standpoint, definitely more than 50% of our budget is right now toward like supporting retail and specifically like the retail media investment. We have like more brand awareness, top of the funnel type of budget that might support like 360 from a branding standpoint. So for example, like out of home or like streaming TV, something like this is like more middle to top of the funnel. But then when it comes to like bottom of the funnel, we are investing heavily in every single retailer as well. So long story short, a very big portion right now of our budget is toward like retail media.
Great. And you mentioned you guys are expanding. Would you say that that's what led the brand to invest or rely more on retailer media networks?
Yes, for sure. This is definitely one of the reasons. And then the other reason is also because retail media is pretty, like it's getting a little bit more sophisticated right now, more interesting. So you have like data that you can share. So it's also like more fun, I'd say, to invest into those platforms, and especially because it's like a way to reach consumer that you were not potentially reaching before when you were just maybe a DTC or an Amazon only brand. So it's the best way, I'd say, to complement like any in-store activation that you are doing for a specific retailer. So you start to invest in like in the retail media space, so you get some data out of that, as well as like customer that might be shopping online and in store. You can tap into those new audience, type of audience that you were not like able to reach before when you were just DTC or Amazon.
Great. And you mentioned some things that you're activating with Instacart, but what would you say are your kind of go-to retail media solutions currently? Are there any areas that the company is interested in exploring more?
Yeah, so we are basically investing in every single like retail media platform out there right now, where we are of course like selling retail. So for example, for Walmart, we go with Walmart Connect, then Kroger, we go 8451, GoPuff, DoorDash, etc. So we touch every single platform out there right now, even Sprout with its own platform, and then all of those like bigger grocery apps like Instacart or like GoPuff or like DoorDash. So we don't have outside of those like a specific retail media platform that we are leveraging right now, but we are of course like also leveraging platform like Ibarra or like couponing type of platform that support the retail in a slightly different way, I'd say.
Would you say that there's any specific like tactic, like sponsored product ads, or does it depend on the retailer media network?
So it depends definitely on the retail media network, what they allow you to do, because of course, certain retailer, maybe they don't have like display capabilities just yet, the certain does. But yes, definitely we are like very we like to take a full funnel approach, I would say, where possible. So to give an example, on Instacart, we try to go full funnel in the sense from hero banner down to coupon. So by leveraging like hero banner, then getting down to like display advertisement based on behavioral targeting. Then we get like more middle of the funnel with like shoppable and based on search or behavior, and then sponsored product. So where possible and where we have the budget and distribution, because of course that's something you need to take into account, we like to go full funnel with those like platforms that allow you to do that. Meanwhile, in other like retailer where we might have like less distribution or online is not like so common for like users to shop online, we don't really go full funnel there, and we always start bottom of the funnel first, understand what's like our ceiling, understand like what's our basically return on ad spend at that point, or cost per unit move, and then scale if needed, and if there is like future opportunity in that retailer to gain like more market share and growth.
Great. Are there any particular technologies the company is seeing and keeping in mind?
Um, Technology itself, I would say, so we started to leverage a lot in the past year Trade Desk, especially from a streaming advertisement standpoint, and mostly because they have this direct relationship with the retail. So we can easily like import the audience if needed from Walmart, from like Kroger or from Albertson, for example. But on top of that, we recently also like signed a contract to do like a sales lift study with ABCS. That's something we run in the past as well through iKey. And those like type of agency and support is something that we are exploring even further, because it allows us to give not just to kind of measure the ROAS that we get on like retail media platform, which is totally fine, but also to understand like the true sales lift that we get by investing into meta advertisement or through Trade Desk, for example, that are more like a retail agnostic rather than retail specific.
Great. And one of the questions I had for you was if you leverage retailer media networks for full funnel opportunities, but it seems from our conversation that you really do.
Yeah. I mean, if we do have the budget sometimes to do that, we definitely like to try that. Especially, for example, we run like Albertson via Trade Desk by leveraging like Albertson audience. So definitely something that we like to do where possible and where we can get this type of data from the retail or partners.
Great. And what challenges within the retail media space are unique to smaller new brands?
So in my opinion, one of the main challenges that we face is that because being like a smaller brand, like in a category where potentially there's a lot of legacy and old brands that have like tons of distribution, they have a much, much more revenue. They make so much more revenue than what we are making. It's really tough to gain, I would say, top placement if there is an opportunity. So most likely the third party platform or the third party retailer is going to probably call out this like legacy brand because of course of distribution, their like historical data and revenue, and also access to pilot programs. So I've seen sometimes even on Instagram, some other brands might be able to unlock access to pilot programs simply because of course they are spending much more on the platform and they are like older brand with bigger budget, I'd say. So that's, in my opinion, the challenge that sometimes smaller brands face, that they cannot unlock specifically like real estate or opportunities simply because they are limited by distribution and current revenue.
Oh, thanks so much for sharing. Um, one of the last questions I had for you was, what do you think is the next frontier for retail media?
So I was thinking, it's a good question. In my opinion, something that I've seen that is pretty interesting is like is happening with Whole Food that they are investing like in with in-store digital signage or like in the aisle type of advertisement. And it used to be we ran a test in the past where when it used to be run through Amazon, so we couldn't like run that self-service basically. But now you can run digital in-store signage self-service. In my opinion, the future is going to go toward that direction where potentially we can just do everything ourselves, like fully self-service platform where we can run is not only online advertisement, but also in-store advertisement through like a platform, self-service platform similar to Instacart or whatever that is.
All right, well, we're almost out of time for this episode of Retail Media Unplugged. So to wrap us up, I'd love to play a quick fill in the blank rapid fire round with you, Nico. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
All right. The biggest trend right now in retail media is
I actually brought them down because it was tough otherwise to come up with the quick one. But the biggest trend right now in retail media is actually seeing every single retailer building their own advertisement platform to monetize on data and ad placement.
the next big thing in retail media is
I mentioned before, but it's just advertisement like for digital in-store ads.
my biggest tip for brands activating in retail media is.
Is to don't leverage third-party platform like those bigger platform where we spend tons of money. So make sure that you leverage like the right partner that can use the native platform and that understand that not only online ads, but also online ads, retail, as well as sales and the retailers themselves.
In 5 years, retail media will?
Be automated by AI.
Those are great responses. That wraps up this episode of Retail Media Unplugged. Big thank you to you, Nico, for sharing your expertise with us today. For those of you watching, I hope to see everyone in the Chicagoland area for P2PI Live and Expo, November 12th through the 14th. And if you're watching this across the pond, don't miss out on our Retail Media Summit UK event, hosted in partnership with SMG on October 16th. I'll be recording a couple Retail Media Unplugged episodes there. For the Path to Purchase Institute, I'm Cindy Loza. Thanks for tuning in.